Entertainment companies out there today are getting absolutely wrecked. The stock market is not doing so hot, but guess what? It's even worse for those who like to create content. We're talking about Netflix, we're talking about Disney, and more. Their stocks are taking a beating. While we are not here to give you any kind of financial advice, we would be remiss not to miss out on the coverage of this situation and tell you the steps that Disney is taking now as their stock is crashing. All right, folks, welcome back to another wonderful video here on the WDW Pro channel. Why is it wonderful? Well, it's because you are here with us. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you. And, well, it's not so happy for Disney. Let's take a look at this, of course. We're taking a look at the stock for today. Before we dive into this, because it does deal with financial issues, let me say that we are not here to give you any kind of financial advice. If you would like financial advice and know how to use your money, seek out a professional financial advisor, someone who is accredited and credible and who you can trust. That's not us. You can trust us, of course, but, well, we don't want to tell you what to do with your money. For Disney, though, they're looking to find out what they can do with their money because they have dropped 3.25% today. And whereas these other entertainment companies that we will discuss have also dropped today, well, they were not already on a downward trend. One thing that is interesting as we look at the Disney stock now hovering around that $83 mark and maybe going to drop down into the $82 mark is that for so long, Disney was sitting at $85, days and days and days. And every time it would drop down to about 85, you would see it rubber band back up. Now it has finally fallen below that. So what was going on? What caused this stock to stick there? Well, folks, we're not here to tell you that we know exactly, but we have a really, really good guess on this. And what we think was actually occurring was that, as you all likely know, when a stock reaches a certain point, there are a vast number of people out there, especially if it's a big round number, who have set their purchasing software, who have told their brokers, if you will, that when a stock hits a certain number, that's when they want to take a particular action. And so what we think probably happened is that $85 was one of those big-time numbers where so many people had set an automated action to occur, buy or sell with Disney when it reached that point. And what this means is that today, as these stocks have dropped and Disney has finally went below 85, is probably we have flushed out most of those people who had that setting for $85. We have finally flushed out those actions, and now there's a new bottom indeed. Now, we're not here to just slam on Disney because take a look at this. Down 3.46% is also Netflix, down to $412.76 or 6 cents per share. If Pro can talk today, But, of course, Netflix has not been on the downward spiral like Disney. Disney is a company that just a couple of years ago was tickling $200, now down in the low 80s and may get down in the 70s at some point. So how is Disney responding? Well, an article out of Bounding into Comics seems apropos to discuss today, considering that we're about to be invaded by Bounding into Comics in our Pro Show live show that we do every single Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So an article out of Bounding into Comics from today, actually, Spencer Bakuli says Disney CEO Bob Iger says company working to improve the quality of their films by reducing both the number of titles we release and the cost per title. Now, for those of you keeping track, what that means is they're going to make less and they're going to spend less on the less that they make. That does not seem to be a winning strategy to me. You need to pick one or the other. I would say that Disney needs to lower their budgets and increase their quality, but no such discussion of increasing quality or recognizing that the divisive nature of their content may be what is sinking the mouse. Bob Iger is not out there saying we're going to make less Snow White and the Seven Dirty Hippies. He's just saying we're going to make fewer and far between Seven Dirty Hippies, and we're going to pay less for the hippies who we are already paying so little for. And an extension of the company's previously announced plans for Marvel Studios, Disney CEO Bob Iger has confirmed that the entire House of Mouse will be attempting to improve the quality of their output. And this is the funny part, folks, by cutting back on both the number of titles we release and their individual costs. Now, that is some real company, corporate language twisting there. How are they going to increase the quality over at Disney? Oh, by cutting back on the content and spending less on the content. Not by changing the flavor of the quality, not by refocusing their studios on universal entertainment that families can get behind. Oh, no, no, no. We can't say that, can we? No, it's all about we're going to cut, 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 and magically that will equal better. Somebody get the underpants gnomes. Maybe they can figure this out. Iger provided this insight into Disney's latest attempt to right their sinking box office during the company's August 9th Q3 2023 earnings call. Of course, folks, we covered that live on the Valiant Renegade channel and then also here with a pre-show on that. Stepping up to the mic following a brief introduction from Disney Investor Relations Senior VP Alexia Quadrani, the CEO began his time by noting how in the 8 months since I've returned, we've undertaken an unprecedented transformation at Disney, and this quarter's earnings reflect some of what we've accomplished, if by that you mean not much at all. He goes on to talk about just how much Disney needs to save. Take a look at that, though. There's Ahsoka not doing well in terms of reception. And I'm not here to say that if you liked Ahsoka that you're wrong. I'm here to say that if you think that Ahsoka is gaining them more subscribers, I think that is probably wrong. The show is simply not designed or set up to be the kind of thing that either retains or grows the subscriber base. And if that's not happening, then what is the purpose indeed? In terms of the company's film-related efforts, Iger revealed that across every one of their various studios, and this includes Pixar, Lucasfilm, and Marvel, the company's various studios were focused on improving the quality of our films and on better economics, not just reducing the number of titles we release, but also the cost per title. Again, no explanation, though, of how they're going to improve the quality. Here we are, day after day after day, explaining to Disney, hey, folks, hey, mouse, hey, Casa de la Raton, here's the deal. You guys are making stuff that's dividing your audience at least in half. That is not a winning proposition. You can't get the kind of money you once had if half the people aren't spending the money on you. Hey, Disney, get a clue. But guess what? We are not getting an admittal from Disney that, hey, we screwed up. We're going to fix it. No, no, no. They're just going to cut back rather than switch the ideology, because the folks who run Disney and the folks who have infiltrated Disney and captured it ideologically, well, they're not willing to change. Here's what Iger said, too. He said, we're maximizing the full impact of our titles by embracing the multiple distribution windows at our disposal, enabling consumers to access their content in multiple ways, he said, as he spit out a giant pile of word salad. For example, Avatar: The Way of Water, which is now the third highest grossing film of all time, is also on track to be the biggest ever electronic home video release for Disney domestically. Don't know what that means, folks. I don't know what that means. And you know why I don't know what that means? Because it's not given with a degree of specificity that would explain it to us. What exactly does that mean, Bob? Dang it, Bob, speak in English. Does it mean it's going to make the most money for a digital release ever? No, I don't think so. Does it mean it's going to make more money than any physical media property ever released? Don't think so. So what does it mean, Bob? Is it the biggest streaming thing you've ever put on Disney Plus? Don't think so. So I don't know what any of that means. You know what it means? It means corporate speak is alive and well with Mickey Mouse. And when it comes to Avatar: The Way of Water, what's really going on here? Well, this is a James Cameron produced, directed, written, everything movie. Disney had really no say in this. And so Disney needs to take a clue from James Cameron. Get him to tell you exactly what the magic is, because you've lost the magic, Disney. Certain other titles will be sold in the download to own window as well, Iger continued. By focusing on big franchises and tentpole films, we're able to generate interest in our existing library. Goes on to talk about some of these other films. But again, folks, the bottom line is that the bottom is dropping out on this stock. And it seems that Iger is only learning that, hey, we need to cut back. And somehow by cutting, we will create better. But there is no sense that is going to happen. That's probably going to leave the C-suite bitter. Will they learn from the Ahsoka release? Will they learn from the situation with Elemental, which, although it has had somewhat of a good hold, it's still going to lose $100 million? Have they learned from Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, which is on its way to losing somewhere between $250 and $300 million total, despite what the access media may say? Well, we don't know. We'll have to sit back and watch. Thor: Love and Thunder, that didn't go so well either, did it? And you know what? That's the sort of way that you get to this situation. $83.05. After a meteoric rise in which the Disney stock was way up there under Bob Chapek, close to $200 now under Bob Iger, it is at a 5-year indeed low. The previous low, of course, came with the pandemic crash. $85.98 is where that stock finally landed at the end of the day as the entire economy was shut down. Today, the entire economy is not shut down, and yet Disney is sitting right at the $83 mark. Where will it be when you are watching this video? Well, folks, go out there and check and find out and see how dismal is it for Disney now. It turns out that the boo birds who've been telling you all along that Disney was making big mistakes, They are not black pillars. No, they are simply realists. They've been telling you the truth, telling you what was going to happen with this company if they did not make good decisions. But I still recommend and suggest to all of you that after you have taken the red pill in terms of seeing reality as it is and letting go of the stinky cheese that Mickey Mouse is serving, I recommend that you keep in mind that there are white pills ahead as we are looking for a time when eventually, one day our prince will come. And no, he's not a stalker. He is someone who will come into the seat of the Disney CEO position after Iger leaves and perchance, turn this company around. Well, folks, that is the video for this afternoon talking about the situation we are seeing with all of these entertainment companies. But remember that these other entertainment companies, as their stock has dropped, well, they had room to drop. Disney did not. And that, I think, is why we are paying so close attention to this, and we will continue to do so as we get ready to go into the Pro Show, 5 p.m. this Thursday, Eastern Time. As always, of course, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you do stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. The monologue I have given here, the dissertation, I suppose you could say, has come to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. No tuition is required. But I would appreciate you leaving me feedback. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. We cover your comments. We care about what's on your mind. And folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Make sure to catch the Pro Show Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.